Hello and good morning. My name is Philip, and this is Fancy Football AFCON Preview Group F. Um, for me, I think this is one of the group you have one of the favorite to win the AFCON, which is in Morocco. We saw them in the World Cup. We saw how they performed in the World Cup, and that really propelled them to be one of Africa's finest ever, one of the African finest and ever good performance in the World Cup since Ghana, Cameroon, and Senegal in 2002. With me, I have the usual suspect, the big man in the house, also Arinze. So good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. Grateful to be here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, when you look at Morocco, let's start with Morocco in that group. You have Morocco, you have Congo DR, you have what is it? You have Zambia and Tanzania. When you look at that group, I think Congo has won this. I think it's Zambia won the
Yeah,
tournament in 2012.
2012, yeah.
Morocco, yeah, Morocco has won the tournament too. But if you look at the group, I think the first three teams in that group uh, have one or two experience they can showcase when it comes to the AFCON tournament. Um, in terms of appearances, in terms of winning it, and in terms of being there as well. So, what's your take about the group first of all before we go into the teams by teams?
Okay, I think there's an outsider in Tanzania. The rise in the football came when Emmanuel Amunike became their manager. Remember then? And then at that point,
Yeah,
brought them to the African Convention, and they capitulated at that stage. I remember I was saying this in a certain platform that they were going to pay their dues, whether Amunike or not Amunike. This is a new terrain, and that is what they did. But when it comes to African football, there are some certain group of people, that have done so well, like DR Congo, they're like a regular household name. Not forgetting
yeah,
Morocco as what the expert they did at the World Cup. For
exactly.
Zambia, I think it was a miracle of 2012. They were outsiders. Nobody gave them a chance to win that competition. But the god of soccer smiled at them. Remember when they were remembering the death of their 30 of their players who crashed in that same country, and it became their year for of greatness. So uh, basically, there are three that to me the big boys in that team has to be Morocco, of course, and maybe DR Congo. Zambia has it, can stay because they are past champions, but in recent times, let's be sincere, they've not been as top of what they've not been there. Some flash of brilliance there from likes of Pat in Dhaka, and of course the captain of the team, I don't remember the guy who plays from was at some point in Rangers in Scotland, their winger. Apart from that, they don't look like the Zambia team that won the African competition where they had to use like Stapilo Sunsu, the Katongo brothers. It's a
Yeah.
different team altogether. The Kennedy winnings of this world. So I think basically they are the main top guys is DR Congo, Morocco, Zambia are the middleman, while the outsiders, the no chancers are the Tanzanians. They could play surprises. They could be the potential banana peel. Not forgetting one man who very well known in African football, Buena Samata, with his time with TP Mazembe before he went
Yeah.
abroad. So it's something that we can ask. Okay, they could be a banana peel, but we know if they come out of that group again, like I always tell you, it's going to be an absolute miracle. So for me, uh, the team looks a bit even on paper, but Morocco has got the edge, far edge than the rest of the other three. Congo, Zambia, not too far away, but Tanzania look like the team that looks like maybe the whooping boys in that group.
Okay, okay. So the last time when we looked at Group D, you said Algeria. For you, Algeria can win the tournament. In short, for
Yeah,
you, they are your favorite. And I'm telling you now,
exactly.
for me, Morocco are my favorite now. And this is what I think about it. And you correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Um, they have a manager that understands the team,
Yeah.
and you have this team spirit in them. You can see them in the World Cup from their captain, what's his name, their goalkeeper, Bono,
It's
to
Bono,
their captain who controls the
Robert
back
Sykes.
in the person of Roman Size, who once plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers. When you look at the midfield, you have a very formidable midfield. see the Moroccan midfield is just so formidable that I think that for you to break down that midfield, you just have to do a lot. You have Amrabat. I think though he's not really doing well at United, but you have the
Yeah.
likes of Amrabat in that midfield. Going forward, you have this lad that plays for Sevilla. What's his name?
You
Up
should
front.
love
Yes. So I just picked one players in those departments, and not to forget you have one of Africa's expensive players, the likes of Hakimi as well.
Yeah.
Playing the right back, he can play. I think he can play anywhere on that pitch. Hassan.
Exactly.
So he can play anywhere. We all know he scored one of the best goals in the AFCON last
Last
time
time,
round.
yeah.
Yes. So when you look at this team, for me, I don't see any weakness in the team. Just like the way you don't see any weakness in the Algerian team, there are no weaknesses. And
I think
though also it might be a little bit aging team, but it is something that they will take home because I think they have come of age. That team have come of age, so they will take the experience of beating Portugal in the World Cup, going to the quarterfinal and losing narrowly to France. So, what's your take about this team going forward? What do you think they will bring into this AFCON that is
I
different
think
from what they did last time when they crashed out against Egypt in the semi-final?
a bit of consistency. They've got a manager, first of all, like you said, Wahid Ragagui, a manager that knows the players because he's been coaching in the Moroccan League for a while with the likes of Alex Bekin and the rest of it. He knows the players, first of all. Majority of the players who have played there has worked under him even before he became the coach of the national team, which is one. So there's this bromance between coach and player already. This relationship, this understanding where player want to play for the coach, which is very key. Two, they've got a defense to die for. What a see, the reason when they went far at the World Cup was not the attack. They barely
Yeah,
scored goals. I think one or two goals every. But the defense is quite, like you said, Roman size. What defender? You have Achraf Hakimi. What a solid man. And this guy who plays for West Ham, Nasif Elgad, his
it's
performance
God. Yeah,
at the World Cup got him that deal, that move to West Ham United. So they've got a solid defense, a backline to die for. Not forgetting the left back who plays for who did so well. I remember Walid. What a player he is. So the backline
yeah.
is, and of course, not forgetting Yusuf Bono, the best goalkeeper in Africa at the moment. Is not something we could argue about. So it tells you they've got a solid backline, and if they can keep in African football, if you can keep the backline short, you've done half of the job. If not more than half of the job already. They've got a good attack. Yusuf Enes scores once in a while. They've got Hakimi, Achraf Hakimi. He's doing so well, to be sincere, with Galatasaray. We've got there. Though he's always the bad boy in the pack. Coach and player problem. You
Exactly.
can't take Hakimi. But the boy scores goals. Probably saw what he did in the Champions League against Manchester United. So they've got a good winger as well. And again, in the midfield,
That's
apart from
Hakim Ziyech.
yes,
That's
Hakim
Hakim
Ziyech,
Ziyech.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So if you look at the midfield, you have Onahi, the emerging star in the World Cup. You have Nordin Arab
yeah.
Amrabat. I don't think he is what he was 1 year ago, but you can't take away his experience, and what he brings to that team. So basically, they've got a good compact team, and they've got quality players also coming from the bench as well. Young players who are hungry. I love the coach. He's not as scared to get players who are unknown and give them game time. We saw that at the World Cup. Like, why is this man playing this man? He does that a lot. So I think they've got that, like you said, they've got that team, that bond, that team that can do it well. But I think their weak point, I know you say they don't have a weak point, is the attack. Hakim Ziyech is not what he used to be a year ago. It was honestly, his goals begin to dry up in Sevilla as well. Uh,
Yeah,
Even at the World Cup proper, they've not been scoring so much goal. They score approximately a goal every other game. That means one goal per game.
yes.
And
One goal per game. Yeah,
what happens when you find out this defense cracks? That means you need to score 2 goals to win a game. And if you look at it, Morocco, the more they play, the more you feel they don't have it in them. Because if they do have that in them, they should have beaten Portugal well. They should have beaten Croatia well, because they created lots of chances. Were quite wasteful from they should have got to the final. So I don't want the third place match again. So it tells you a lot of questions, a lot of question marks, in my opinion. Maybe you don't see it. They've gagged your eyes with how well they played at the World Cup, but truth be told, uh, there's attacking wise is their weak point. But African football is always based on defense. So they've got a cutting edge that we may not get to score you, but we've got a solid backline. So if we can get to score you once, we are safe. We are as good as won the game because 1-0 is enough to win a game. It doesn't matter. See, in Africa, it's 7 games to win the trophy. Don't forget, it's not a marathon when you go for 38 games. No, it's win and qualify, win and qualify. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Spain did that in 2010 World Cup in South Africa, and everybody's surrounding what they've done with the coach talking about
It's certain, a
Vincent.
certain team, a certain team in Europe did it as well in Euro 2000, Euro 2004 in
Greece,
Portugal.
Greece,
Greece,
Greece.
when they had Otto Rehagel as their manager from the German
Yes,
national team.
they had this guy Christis,
And,
that's a striker. One corner kick,
yeah,
bang, they smile home. So, watch
exactly.
out Morocco. Their backline, solid defenders. But I think they need to start scoring more goal for the way they play. I watched the last friendly game. I think I remember the team they beat 3-1 yesterday. Maybe the coach is going to look at, oh, this is where we need to work out for because I bet you where you need to score more than one goal to win a game. There's a lot of questions, man.
Okay, let's go to DR Congo. DR Congo, I think, is no surprise. They've
Yeah,
been accustomed to coming to the AFCON, um, and they are a team that I think they have one of the best teams, best club sides in Africa.
yeah,
Well run club side in Africa, well run club side for in Africa, keeping Mozambique. And most of the players have been trickling out from there. From there, they go. You have players that came out from Tipo Mozambique and went to Europe to play their right.
yeah.
Um, what do you think about their chances in this tournament?
To be sincere, DR Congo doesn't look like DR Congo we used to know. I'm a very sincere. They're not what they used to be. They're still relying on the old hands, the likes of Cedric Bakambu, the guy who plays, I think this is Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. There plays in, sorry, Turkey, yes, with
Yeah, yeah,
Galatasaray.
it is, but yeah,
Uh, exactly. So he left Saudi Arabia. So I think they relies on the older players. The players keep retiring. I don't think they've done enough to to recoup or get new players to hold the fort. Remember that there was a certain time that the whole team Zambia team was all their Congo players, and they had an element of
yeah,
success. And the foreign players started coming in, players from Zambia, Mozambique, and at the end of the day, you could look at the team Zambia team and you can look for maybe 2 or 3 DR Congo players, and it has hurt them. The good old days when they had 20 players playing for Jericho for TP Mazembe, they don't have that anymore. So because of the influx of players, because of the way the team is structured, the structure of the team is fantastic. The pace is heavenly. Players like Samantha has played there. Players like top players in Africa has gone there to take a chunk of that oil money. So it is what it is. So and it has affected Congo as well. So uh I'm not really gonna say they look like a team that I can bank my money on that they will go all the way and get stop all the old things. They are good old days when their teams in DR Congo were doing well in the CAF Champions and the Competitions Cup. Unfortunately, it's only Team Benzema at the moment, and majority of the players play Team Benzema, not even DR Congo players. So I don't think it will rub off on them this time around. But they've got some players playing in Europe, like you said. They've touched down Europe, playing here and there, playing here and there. And you can boldly believe that they've got maybe some experience there to get a goal or two in those encounters. But as a team, I'm not too convinced that this team can go all the way, maybe to the quarterfinals, semifinal. They will not be there as usual. No, they always find a way to get out of the group stage. Let's give it to them. And then get to the round of 16 and they
yeah,
get knocked out. They pack their
yeah. Okay,
exactly. That's that's
this was their last. I think this is their last 10 matches. I think
yeah,
they lost in the World Cup qualifiers. They lost uh, 1-0 to Sudan away to Sudan.
yeah,
1-2 to I think they won 2-0 to Mauritania and drew had three friendlies in a row. Drew with Angola in a friendly match. They drew with New Zealand as well on the friendly,
yeah,
and they were beaten by South Africa also. The last two AFCON qualifiers they play, they beat Sudan 2-0. I guess also beat Gabon away 2-0. They also had a friendly with Uganda where they won 1-0. Uh, Mauritania they beat Mauritania in the AFCON qualifiers as well 3-0. They also beat Mauritania in the reverse fixtures also 3-0. These are their
last
last
10
matches
games.
they played.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, they will always they will beat teams who are below them. This is the real big stage. I still do not think. Maybe I'm not playing spoiler, and they can't get out of this group. I still don't think they can. I don't think they can. If you don't beat see, forget. I keep saying it, and I keep singing it in high heavens. Maybe until I get you, Philip, to become an apostle of what I'm saying, is the fact that there are minnows in football. Yes,
But when
there
you
are.
look at when you look at this team, when you look at this DR Congo team, sorry to cut you short. You have I just think that um they can perform magic. They can, but except if they play as a team. Because you see players that they have. I've not even seen a player from TP Mozambique in this squad, to be frank.
Exactly,
In their squad. I've not seen
exactly,
a player from TP
exactly.
Mozambique. You
So
see,
it's a
you have
better
players that play in Simba. In short, you have their top striker who plays for Brentford, Johan
yeah,
Rice.
you are
Yes, and
wheezing.
you have I think one of the players to watch out for is this guy that plays in Pyramid, um, Piston Mailer. So
Yeah.
for me, I think yes, for me, I think though they don't have players from TP Mozambique, but with the group of players that they have and with the caliber of manager that they have, that has done his price his speed, don't you think they're a very dangerous team?
See, there's a formula they go used to climb the pyramid of African football, which was getting home based players. There was never a time you could
Yeah.
watch it. This guy was born in England or he born in France. France, no, that's not the way DR Congo climbed up the ladder. They built it from inside. Now we are sorry to even get a player playing in TP Mazembe in that team. The best you can get is Simba that plays in Tanzania. So you actually say, what is going on? You see, I know you say Winston is a quality player, he plays for Brentford, even though he sits more on the bench. Here, he doesn't understand what he plays to DR Congo. He just say he was born and bred in France. Now he plays for DR Congo. You're not like, does this happen in DR Congo? But it doesn't happen before. You look at
Well, giving the benefit of a doubt, he wants to play
what, no,
international football, and that's why
I'm not saying
he
there's
plays
a
his
plan that
origin
works
back
for
to DR
football.
Congo.
There's a plan that works for DR Congo, and see, and it's not Egypt had that same plan. They kept it. Egypt have only 6 players playing in professionally in that team. At some point, last year, there was injured, and Gabaski came in, and it was like it was even the
Yeah.
first choice. There was no difference. And was anybody really missing that team at all? That's the quality of what they got in their league. You get what I'm trying to say? They're going to have lost the mojo. They've lost the key to how what brought them success in the lamplight. Don't forget, this Congo team were always winning the Chad competition, and the competition for Africa and
Yeah.
the cup. Exactly. Now they even barely qualify for it because they have lost the magic. It's now showbiz. The same way Nigeria lost it, the same way we lost it, where we used to have home based players, we don't always argue, must there be home based player? Now, we're always doing quarter. Should there be 1 or 2, or should there be 3 to gain experience? Then we were good enough, so we were picked. We needed to campaign for home based players. So DR Congo has lost. I'm not saying they cannot gather these players now, this crop of players from wherever they are around the world
Yeah.
and conjure magic. But look at their last 10 games, like you mentioned. Those are teams that DR Congo should be beating on paper. Who is Mauritania? Who is Uganda? Uganda just started climbing slowly when this coach joins them recently, 2, 3, 4 years ago. So these are teams they should be beating. But I'm saying now they're going to be playing top teams like Morocco. Can this team stand the test of time? I bet it was when they had players playing in the home based. At least if they didn't have the professional or the professional one with Tao to go with Morocco, they had the doggedness, the fighting spirit. They wanted to break fourth spirit. That one was keeping DR Congo. Everybody was trying to showcase themselves. That's why Zambia the same way. When they won the Nations Cup in 2012, they all went on the nosedive. It was they capsized. They capitulated because the Sapilo Zuzus have become stars. The Katongos have become stars. The Calabar has become stars. The Kennedy Winnies have become stars. And then
Oh. Nonso, are you there? Lost Nonso actually. Let's see if we can have him back on the show. Uh, Nonso, are you there? Okay, we are unable to have Nonso back on the show because of one or two technical issues with the network. But for those that are watching us, please kindly subscribe to Fancy Football. Kindly hit the notification bell and like our videos. Um, if you have any comments, share your comments with us. We'll read them out on the show. Tell us who you feel will win the AFCON. Uh, we have you all know the list of clubs. So go to the comment section and send us your prediction on who will win, who you think will win the AFCON, and we'll bring out your comment right out here. Okay, we still have we'll wait for Nonso. Let's see if Nonso will come into the show, come back to the show. But we um for me, I think when you look at the DR Congo, they are a team made up of players from all calibers of league in the world, from the Premier League to the Tanzania League, which I think is much more wonderful for them. But I think they just what they need is the mix of the mix of both home and foreign based players, and they don't have those home based players. Sorry to say, and that's a shame a for a country like DR Congo, who has one of the clubs in Africa, well run, like I said, well run top clubs in Africa. But let's see how they will go. Let's move to the Chief Polo Polo. The Chief Polo Polo, 2012 champions, and they were runners up in 2000 in 1994 against Nigeria. I think I watched that highlight today. Where you like the when you have the likes of Kalisha Mbwali in that team. Uh, I think for me, the, the team actually is just coming of age now. That team gradually coming of age, maybe picking up experience because in that part of the region where Zambia comes from, they play football year in year out. You know the Kosafa Cup is always year in year out. Where you have South Africa, you have the likes of Tanzania in that region. You have a lot of teams in that region, Zimbabwe also that plays football here in Namibia as well, that plays football year in year out, and which is very very good, is commendable. But can they translate that football that they play year in year out to trophies, to doing well in the AFCON? That is a question that the Chief Polo Polo needs to answer in this AFCON. Can they translate their position, their real position, the position they are? Can they make that maybe make it count? I think for me, they have to make it count. Not necessarily going to the final, but also see if they can make a step further by going out coming out from the group stage, maybe as one of the best losers or as second in the group. If they can, then move going forward and to see how they could really build on that momentum into the round of 16, then into the quarter final. So let's see what will happen going forward. I think let's take a break, please, so that we can bring in also back into the show. Okay, we have also back on the show. Sorry, no, so I think maybe one or two technical issues from our end here, so I cut you
Uh,
off. So 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 it's sometimes like that. So as we're saying, let's just move quickly to the cheap polo polo. I was talking about the cheap polo polo, and I just said that quickly on the cheap polo polo. What is their chances in this AFCON? Knowing fully well that they are a team that can blow hot and blow cold at any time.
I'm a seriously, I'm a fan of the Chipolo Polo, like I said. When they won the AFCON in 2012, they stunned the Almighty. Ivory Coast, the so-called golden era. That was the end of the drop. I remember when they blazed that penalty over the back. It's something it's always new in my memory every day of the week. The far back there, but we need to be sincere. You have Zambia football improved since then. We thought they would have because a few years later they won the African Under 20 Nations Cup. They had the likes of Pat in Dakar, and then they went to the World Cup and they did a bit well. But it seems that success has not metamorphosed into the national team. They've changed managers left, right, and center, but they haven't got that swagger about them that got them the AFCON in the first place in 2012. So I'm not optimistic, but to be sincere, I can't really say that. But I think they will have just enough. I told you something that I do not think they can get out of this group. I do not think. I don't think they are in the right.
I'm telling you, I feel they will go. I feel they will come out from the group.
I don't think they can. I think Zambia will just see. Zambia has got. I don't know what they've got to them with getting out of groups and sneaking themselves out of groups. They have done that. If you their pattern. Oh, this group is hard for Zambia. They just they sneak in their second place. Now they've got a better way of qualifying. If they don't qualify as second place, they can get out through best losers. But I think they'll be in the top two. They have a style of football that every manager, and this is why I love Zambia. And I actually ask myself about the Super Eagles. What's our style? No matter which coach comes to Zambia, they play a counter-attacking football. They try to use the strength
Yeah.
of their facing wingers and hurt you through the wings. That's their style. Change manager or don't change manager is the way they play. Is the way they put themselves out. So I wait and see. I still believe in the boys. I don't think they can go and have an exceptional tournament because they know one thing. They'll be in. I want to when you do so well, you become a victim of your own performance. They won the AFCON in 2012
Yeah.
not too long ago. So even if they got to the semi, they'll be like, we had won the tournament some years ago. Why can't we win it this time? Always Oliver too. So I think they can go far, quarter-final maybe, but I don't think they can get to the semi-finals. Not with the way they play at the moment. But I can assure you that they will negotiate this group out. They will find a way to negotiate this group, and I see them going out again ahead of DR Congo. As DR Congo will get dumped out of the group stage again like they were the last time they were in this competition.
So they have no chance. That's what you said.
I said Zambia will qualify. Is there Congo? I'm not sure how they will get out of this group. They may negotiate best losers. Fine, good one for them. But to be in the top two, I don't think. I think Zambia has got enough firepower in them to get through that one.
Okay, quickly let's go. Let's look at Tanzania quickly in the next 2 minutes because uh, time is fast well spent on this show. So quickly, let's look at Tanzania. Like you
Yeah.
said, they are the whipping boys. Being the whipping boys doesn't mean that we won't talk about them because we have to also give them some chance. This is their second AFCON.
Yeah.
Uh, the first AFCON was in 2019, and this is their second AFCON. Maybe by the time they keep on returning back to the AFCON tournament, maybe once in 2 years or once in 4 years, by then they will learn and they will gain experience. What's your take about the Tanzania team?
First of all, there's some players who are not very lucky with national team. They can play so well with
Yeah,
their club side. Not the national team, they're on their own. E.g. Ryan
yeah,
Giggs with Wales. That's the same thing with
yeah.
Buena Samata with Tanzania. It seems to be a one man move. Every time they score a goal, it is Buena Samata. Anytime something happens, well, Buena Samata. Go and check the qualifier, the last minute winner that got them here, Buena Samata. So it's like
That's
a one
that's the
man.
that's the Lewandowski of Poland as well.
Exactly. Not as Lewandowski is to Poland, Buena Samata is to Tanzania. That is exactly how it is like. If they must succeed, that man must start scoring goals. So it's how to get him firing. Because if it's to concede, oh yes, we saw where they can concede goals in the last half in 2019. Oh yes, they can. There's one error or two in them every other game. So he needs to start. They need to find a way to get him scoring goals. Get him on his best of games. That if they have two chances, he scores two. And they pray to the gods of high heaven that even if those guys have 12 chances, they score one. And that is it. So I think the chance has to be, is he in the right frame of mind? Is he fully fit? What is it? Where is he right now in his mentality, in form wise? Is he scoring goals for his club? That is what they should be looking at and how to get him very, very happy. So I think it's all about Mboma Samata and what he brings to the table. And I want to watch how well he can carry this team. We've seen coaches players carry teams. We've seen Lewandowski, like you said, carry Poland. We've seen certain Austin J.J. Okocha during his time carry the Nigerian team. Now it's not time for Samantha to prove to the world that, oh yes, I think he knows he can't win it. Let me say sincere. But what they can do is get out of the group stage and then take it one game at a time. We've seen if Zambia can do it that year, what can Tanzania do it? So it's all about. I think it's about them one game at a time, and I'm sure that Samantha is scoring goals. If he can score 4 goals in the group stage, then they've got a chance. I'm trying to be modest here. 4 goals in 3 games.
Don't be diplomatic. If it is what it is what it is. If it
Exactly.
is not, then they can go on the pitch and prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Finally, I know your take will be Morocco to win the group. DR Congo second,
Absolutely.
Zambia third.
No, Morocco to win the group. Zambia second, DR Congo third.
Okay.
I don't think that will get out of that group. I still don't think they can. I think they will huff and puff. So the group will be interesting. But I love the fact that every team now has a back door. Just one of the best to losers. So if you want to lose very humbly, lose religiously. So there's a back door. So, but I think this group is very interesting. I'm not pushing away Tanzania. They can cause some upset, like they did in 2019. Throw some banana peels in left and center. Just play, have fun. No way. See that is now fears no fall. So what they can do is just be playing spoiler.
Yes, I think that's one of the things I encourage the main sides in Africa to do. Just go there, have fun. You never can tell what will happen at the end of the day.
If you lose a game, it's not a news. If you draw a game, it's news. Yes. If you win a game, it's news. That's how I make the news simple. Spoil. Nigeria did a 3 points qualify for the group. Draw them 1-1. Frustrate them. Why you make the headline? Nigeria is dumped out by lowly rated. That's what I want the smaller teams to do. It's as simple as that. Just have fun. Just keep playing spoilers like we see in the Euros and in the World Cup. That's how it is.
Yeah. Okay, also good to have you on the show. And for those who are watching us or that have been watching us, kindly subscribe to Fancy Football and kindly hit the like button and the notification bell as well. So I will see you on the other side of the show. Yeah, so that we continue what we intend doing today. See you, and I think we'll have some clips coming out as well. Some clips on the match by match analysis, and also will be with me on that. Thank you so much, and also once more, and thank you also for watching. For our viewers for watching, and we'll see you on the other side.